Let's check out Hailey and some of the events. Okay, so she has a captain ability of defense in point war and knockout. Her S1 multiplier is 100% of defense. Rensi's is only 80%, so she already does more damage than Rensi with her S1. And also she inflicts Molten Hot on her S1. S2 multiplier is attacks all enemies, damage is equals to 75% of her defense, and deals extra true damage based on 8% of target's max HP up to 100% of her defense. Recovers HP equals to 50% of damage dealt. This one is a bit lackluster. It just does damage and nothing else, no effects or whatever. On a 3-turn cooldown, and her S3 is on a 4-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies. Damage is equals to 30% of her attack and 100% of her defense. Inflicts Molten Hot and Sear for 2 turns. Grants Smelting Mastery to the ally without Smelting Mastery and with the highest attack. Passive is Hailey's attacks are guaranteed to land critical hits. Oh, you don't need to build her with any crit rate. Okay, that's nice. So she's already better than Rensi in that sense for Sonica. So Smelting Mastery is the carry against the caster's equipment set effects. Okay, we already know this. And Molten Hot is the effect of the equipment set expires. For PvE, the effect becomes attack minus 20% and defense minus 20%, and she is immune to this effect. I'll check if this is this minus 20% defense is additive or multiplicative with the defense debuff. Her ascension is defense, crit damage, and HP. Okay, they changed her R6 effect from the patch notes. She now no longer does damage whenever she takes a hit, because I think that one was a little bit too broken. Every time she took a hit, in the patch notes, she was doing AoE damage. So yeah, they changed it. When Hailey takes a hit, inflicts Molten Hot on the attacker for 2 turns. So I don't think her R6 is going to be anything crazy. Because if you have immunity, then you will be immune to this Molten Hot. And her R6 essentially does nothing. Because her previous R6 was really good to make her a bruiser in like a tank team. Now you don't really want to run her in a tank team because you want her to go first to apply this Molten Hot. If she doesn't go first, then she's not really gonna do much for your team. Her Divinate is Hailey's damage taken minus 40% from the start of the round until her first action. Okay, this is kind of like some Esper's Resonance 4 where they take reduced damage before their first turn. Not really that crazy. Okay, Hailey is stronger than I thought. So these are the sets that I'm running. Hailey is on the Nether set and counter, and my Shenpin has Windwalker and Grove. Clara has Windwalker and Broken, and also Feng Nusi has Windwalker and Grove. So first thing that you need to know is that her Smelting Mastery, the golden buff, is permanent. I'm gonna use her S3. Because my Shenpin has the highest attack, she is targeted first to get the Smelting Mastery. I'm gonna reset Hailey's S3. As you can see, the golden buff does not have any timer. It is permanent. Now check this out, right? When my Shenpin attacks, she is going to proc Nether set, even though she's on the Windwalker set currently. Okay, I'm gonna cast her S3 again, and you'll see that now Nusi gets the attack buff, or not attack buff, the Smelting Mastery, and Shenpin still has the Smelting Mastery. So you can go full team with the Smelting Mastery. So her equipment set is very crucial, what you run on her, because when the fight goes on for a longer period of time, she will give her equipment sets to your entire team, because her S3 priority is that grant Smelting Mastery to the ally without Smelting Mastery and with the highest attack. So it goes down the list. The first turn, the highest attack was Shenpin, so it gives to Shenpin, and then the second one was Nusi, so it gives to Nusi, and then lastly it gives to Clara. Now check this out. If I use Nusi's S1, she's also going to proc the Nether set, even though she's on the Wind set. So now 2 of my units have Nether set, even though I don't have any Wind set on them. Sorry, even though I don't have any nether set on these two. The only nether set that I have is Hailey. So yeah, that's pretty insane. You can have your entire team with the equipment sets that Hailey is using. So in Sonica, if you have relief set on her, which you most likely will, because you want her to proc and assist, then after the match goes on for a bit longer and she manages to use her S3 a lot, then your entire team is going to get the relief set bonus and also whatever 2-piece set that you want to run with. You can run counter Avatara, you can run the Brawler set, but Brawler set in Sonica is only going to benefit her, not your allies. So yeah, you might want to run a different 2-piece set. Okay, we're gonna test out whether the defense break and Molten Hot stacks additively or multiplicatively. So I'm gonna be checking out Ollie's damage, his S1 damage onto this guy. So I'm using my calculator like right here. It's in the description. Okay, so Ollie's base damage on his S1 on this Inferno guy is going to do 2998. As you can see, the calculator is just about right. It's slightly off this one, but it'll do. Now we're gonna see with just defense break. So I'm bringing R0 Ethan right here for his defense break on his S2, and I'm gonna change the damage calculator just a bit, the formula. Since defense break is minus 60% defense, I'll just need to minus the enemy's defense to 40%. There we go. Ollie should be doing about 5543. Let's go into battle. Okay, let's check out his damage on this guy. Yeah, about the same. 5508 to the calculator says 5543. Just about the same. Alright, now we're gonna try out with Hailey. I'm gonna defense break and apply the Molten Hot onto the guy with this guy. So if Hailey stacks additively instead of multiplicatively, all I need to do is change this 40 to 20% because you are minusing 20% from the Molten Hot and then an additional 60% from defense break. So if it is additive, the enemy is losing 80% defense. If it is multiplicatively, I would need to times it by 40%, and that's because of the defense break, and then again times it by 80% because of the Molten Hot debuff, which minus 20%, right? So if it is multiplicatively, this is how it looks. We'll check. Okay, so if it's multiplicatively, my Ollie should do 6240. Let's check it out. We're testing out if she stacks multiplicatively, which is worse because additively is better if the multiplier is below 1. So let's check it out. Ollie, if it is multiplicatively, he should be doing somewhere around 6240. No, 7. Okay. Okay, Hailey's kind of busted because this defense down and Molten Hot stacks additively. So let me just show you real quick. Like I said, if it stacks additively, all I need to do is times 20% because the enemy only has 20% defense left. Now, as you can see, the number is just about the same, and Ollie should be doing 7639. Yeah, she's even more broken than I thought because her S1 essentially puts the enemy at minus 80% defense. That is insane. What the hell? Yeah, she's gonna be a better substitute for Renzi for sure. Because right now, Sonica will have only 20% defense. It's like you almost ignoring the enemy's defense entirely. That is insane. But yeah, that's it for the testing I'm gonna do with Hailey for now. Let's take a look at the events. Like we saw in the highlight video, they are bringing back Ripple Outbox, which is awesome. But it's only two. There's two right here. But each of this box gives you 5 ripples, which means you're gonna get 10. And I think I saw one as well in the highlight video in one of the events, so maybe 3. So you're gonna get 15 fragments in total. We also have this chore event where you have to click every single time. This one is just so tedious to do. And then this is the Christmas event. These two are this is login event. This is the Christmas event. Fafnir Duel is also up. And I think we're gonna get the Zodiac Trials in the next week. But yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna check out the changes on JJ and other stuff after this. But yeah, Hailey looks really good, especially for Sonica, but not so much for other contents. I think for PvP, because I read the Smelting Mastery wrong, I thought she was going to steal all of the enemy's equipment sets and then give it to your ally, but instead it's just sharing her equipment sets, which is still good, but not that game breaking, I think, for PvP. The Molten Hot is broken for PvP though, because it negates all of the equipment sets that the enemy has. But yeah, I'm definitely summoning for R0, R2. I'm not too sure yet. I'll have to test it out whether it's worth it or not, because all it does is it changes her S3 to when Hailey falls, grants Smelting Mastery to 2 random allies without the Smelting Mastery. So in PvE, as long as she is alive, she will eventually give the Smelting Mastery to all of your allies. And in PvE Sonica Team 1, you don't actually want her to die because she is your main DPS to apply the defense break and stuff, unless you have an R6 Lien. This is not that game breaking unless it's running on PvP. But yeah, that's about it. Ciao.